everyone. Welcome back to Fin Fashion Bags. So today we are going to be looking at some basic things that could be wrong with your blackhead machine. It has various brands, Butterfly, Singer, Two Lion, and the likes, but they have kind of similar parts. So I'm using Butterfly sewing machine now. So we're looking at basic things that could be wrong with your machine and how to fix them by yourself. The essence of this video is so that you don't have to call an engineer over every little issue your machine could be having. So first off, we are going to start with needles. Bad needles, good needles. How do you know a good needle? Right here, I'm having three different types of needles. I have size 18, this is it. I have 21, and then I have 23. First of all, when you see your needle, you make sure that the tip is pointed. Once your needle tip, like this one, is bent, you know that you are going to have a problem. So when you start noticing maybe your thread is cutting, is twisting, it could be a needle problem. Okay, so look at the tip of that needle carefully. It is slightly bent. Okay, so that is a needle problem. So make sure that you have pointed needles at each time, especially when you are sewing thick leathers. It can bend over time, overuse, or it can even bend just as you put it sometimes. So that is one. Secondly, we have thread issues. Now this bent needle, now what it can cause is that it can make your threads to be cutting. When it's so small, it will cut, or it can make them to be twisting or be hooking. That's what bent needles can cause. Another thing is that it can be hitting on the needle plate. Okay, sometimes it can bend very well. It can be hitting on the needle plate. It's no longer straight, so making sewing difficult for you, and many problems like that. So first off, check your needle when you start experiencing something like this. Secondly, we are looking at sizes of thread. Looking at size of thread, basically when sewing, at least for me, I use nylon thread for size 3. Okay, size 3, this is size. They usually write it on the of back of thread. So for example, look at this is twine thread or nylon thread. This is it. You see where there is 210D/3. You have size 3, size 9, 12, and so on. So basically for sewing bags, we mostly use size 3. Then sometimes I also use size 9 if I'm going to be sewing something very thick, but that 9 don't usually pass through the needle, so I'm going to put it on the reeler. I often put it on the reeler, or the bobbin rather, that is inside, so that it can come out. Okay, so now if you are using a light thread, sometimes people do use this one. This is cloth, for cloth. This is cotton thread, so people do use this one to sew bags. So if you're sewing something thick, okay, and you are using this one, you find out that it will be cutting over time. Every little time it will be cutting. Okay, so the size of thread you are using, it matters a lot. All right, so that is for thread issues. The next one is other things why your thread could be cutting inside and outside. For example, now if your needle plate, this is the needle plate, or you call it truth plate, look at this very well. There is a circle. So now this is the needle plate, that is this thing here. This one is bad. Oh yeah, look at this hole now. You see, in this one it's completely round, but in this one it has broken. When this breaks or cracks, sometimes you will find out that it will be hooking your thread as it goes down, okay, thereby cutting it or making it twist, especially underneath. So when your needle plate is bad, it can cause such problem. What you just need to do is to open this place, open this needle and remove it and change another one by yourself. Okay, so this is about 200, 250, it's not more than that. All right, so you can just open these nuts when you open the knot, you remove this. Open these two nuts and you remove this. Fix another one and you tighten it once more. So this one is bad already. Okay. All right. So then the next one is packing when your thread is packing underneath. Maybe you are sewing something, for example. This is the front. Then at the back, you find out that thread is gathering underneath. Okay, so what could be the cause? Number one, now anything that is happening, this is the rule I often use and it's always work. Anything that is happening underneath my material comes from here. This is the balance wheel, happens here. Okay, tension disc. So anything happening underneath most times is from tension disc. Okay, while anything happening on top most times is from inside here underneath. When you open this place, that is inside this place. Okay, so when something is happening on top of the surface where you are seeing, you check here. It could be from the reeler, it could be that's the reeler, it could be from bobbin, it could be from the shuttle. Okay, this is it. So these are things you need to check if it's happening here, right? Good. Then if it is happening underneath, first of all you check this one. Okay, all right. So then again you check this one. This sits directly on top of this. I'm going to show you shortly. This sits on top of this. I'm going to open this so that you see what's going on. Okay, so now when some underneath is packing thread or something like that, check to see that this place is firm enough and it's still moving. Sometimes when you tighten it too much, it will be very hard to move. So it should just be tense. This tension, this should just be tense. It shouldn't be loose. If it's loose, it could be a problem. Sometimes some of these things, because I've had my machine, one of my machines, these things spoil, so I had to change them, tension knob and everything. So you change it, or it could just be a tighten issue. So try to tighten or loosen. It could also happen when your stitches are jumping like that. So try to make sure that this tension is good. All right. Okay. So now let's open this place. Now I've removed the two nuts and lift this place. Okay, so this is what we call the teeth, or most times the official name is the feed dog, but most market people know it as the teeth. Okay, so there are different types, but this is the most regular one. Now another thing you check is if this is loose. If this knot is loose, that could be a problem. We're going to the next one now. When your material is not moving, you know that your feed dog, or rather your teeth, may be loose or it has broken here. I'm putting my material, it's not moving, it's not going, I have to push it. Then either this place is cracked or the teeth is spoiled, or the knot is loose. I've had cases when with time, due to tension, this knot is loose, so you just tighten it back. Or recently I had one of my machines, this place cracked, so I just had to loose this two knots, remove it and remove the teeth. Okay, just loose the knots. Okay, you see it's coming out, just slightly remove it. Successfully removed it. You see that? So you just remove it, then get another one. I think I bought it last 200. That was about last week, so it's not costly. Just get another one. This is the regular one. They have various ones for and the likes. I don't have them here. Okay, so you just change it and tighten the knot back. Alright? So that is for that. When your material is not moving, to be the feed dog most likely.